Today we're looking at some Dynasty trades. We're going to be looking at a batch of players, seeing whether or not you want to buy, sell, hold, trade with them. We're going to project out the future, project out the market. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. The NFL draft's almost here. We'll give you live reactions after all the big picks for Dynasty Fantasy Football. On top of that, we're looking at values for rookie drafts. We're helping you with Dynasty trades. We're helping you trade the picks. It's all here, and it's free. Click that button. Stop missing out. First player we got to talk about today, and I had to add him in the mix real quick, and it's Jaylen Warren. You'll see here in a minute. 8.4 points per game. Shot up once Najee left as the RB32. Shot up a little bit in the ADP as well. But now we're on the Steelers. Seems to be the lone back there. Maybe as the guy. Maybe. Last year, opportunity share 46th among running backs. People are hoping that'll bounce up a little bit. They're hoping he gets more opportunity. 37th among running backs in routes ran. Yards created 32nd. Yards created per touch 9th among running backs. So we got a little something there. He's always been used a little bit in the passing game. He's always been good a little bit between the tackles. However, the big thing about this is the Steelers are bringing in running backs on their visits. 9 of their last 30 visits. 9 of them. They're probably going to draft a running back. They're looking at these running backs hard. That's going to discount him. So if you like Jaylen Warren, you can swoop in and catch him later. Catch him later, don't catch him now. If you have Warren and you don't like him that much, or if you're looking to move around pieces, get into the draft or whatever, you better do it soon. You better do it soon. You better kick the tires because people are on to this. This ain't news. This ain't news. We know there's a deep running back class. We know the Steelers need a running back. We know they're looking at this. Jaylen Warren, adjacent players. It's kind of up there, though. It's kind of up there. You got Travis Etienne, Aaron Jones, Isaiah Pacheco, Tank Bigsby. Not no man's land, not overvalued, but it's kind of up there for the name, for what we're looking at here. Adjacent players overall, Jacoby Myers, early second 2027, Shedeur Sanders, Deebo Samuel. Not concrete for trade values, but ideas to how to make things happen. Kyle Pitts, a dynasty guy, an asset here that a lot of people are holding tightly to. Ranked 10th among tight ends, so he's in that 10 range when you're looking at keep trade cut, calculators, ADP, 7.7 points per game, 4.3 targets per game. 4.3 targets per game. If you're going to hang your hat on that, we have some upside weeks of 9, 8, 5, and 6, but some low ball weeks as well. And there's a story to this. A 13.7% target share and an 8 out of 8.4, which is 4th highest among tight ends, which is good for a tight end. So we are getting deeper targets for the position. The target share is low, though. The target share is low. Separation rate, 35th. I'm just looking at the target share right now. And I look at the target share, I look at what we got. We got Drake London and Bijan Robinson there soaking up a lot of targets. And now they're using Darnell Mooney, Ray McCloud. There's a lot of competition in the offense. So something has to break in season, whether it's Bijan, a 1 or 2 wide receivers, for him to really start climbing in target share, getting more volume. If anything, he's going to be a volatile asset with this low target share at 13.7%. Something has to happen for that 13.7% to increase. If something does happen, that will increase, and that will make him more stable, and that ADOT's great. The ADOT's good. Also, we can get a few more touchdowns, get more opportunities around the red zone. Maybe that will help you out. We're 14th among tight ends and red zone targets. Deep targets were 7th, though. If we can cash in on some deep balls and just get a little bit more of those short to intermediate targets. But Ray McCloud was looking good last year. There was times where he was pushing a 20% target share, 16% on the season. But there were games where he was racking up targets. Darnell Mooney blew up last year, had some moments. Drake London's a stud. You got Bijan, who's a stud in a passing game, getting a 13% target share. It's really hard for a tight end like this to do something fancy. Something has to break. He does have the talent. He does have the athleticism. Something has to break his way in this offense. But he's up there in value when it comes to rankings, ADP, calculators, and all that. Also, look at this. Salary here, the contract for the Falcons. Are they going to re-sign him? Are they going to keep him? Or is this a good time to move away and send him off and get picks? Get some other stuff. We have a good tight end class this year. I don't know. I'm not trying to think of the Falcons, but we do have a contract here where we can do something with. We're either getting a deal or we're not. But the deal's going to come sooner than later within the next 12 months or so. Travis Etienne. Whoa. RB30. He was once one of the top assets in Dynasty Fantasy Football. 8.8 points per game. Multiple RB2 weeks. No RB1 weeks last year. We're getting opportunities, but we started sharing the backfield more. We're sharing it with old Tank back there. And that's a scary thought if you bought in startup drafts with Etienne as being a top guy. But now we're looking at him 30th among running backs in opportunity share. It's really hard to be a top 10 back, top 12 back when your opportunity share is outside the top 25. It's just really hard to do. You have to be very electric and you have to be raking in the targets. He's 15th among running backs in targets, but still, you need more. You need him to be healthy. You need him to be out on the field. You need him running a lot of routes, but Tank Bigsby looked good. He had some moments. He had some games where he took over. He had that one long run for a touchdown, killing it around the goal line. 7 touchdowns, 4.6 yards per carry. Tank Bigsby, a good running back. And now we're looking at Travis Etienne. It's like, are we going to get enough workload for him to be worth it for us in Dynasty? RB30 right now in value, and that seems about right when you're looking at these numbers. You're looking at where he's at. Trey Benson, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Isaiah Pacheco. Look at the contract, though. They're in a position where if they want to deep dive this running back class, they catch a running back at a value, and they're like, hey, let's draft this running back. We got a rookie deal here. I don't want to re-sign Travis Etienne. Let's just flip him for something on day 3, and let's just move on, and we don't have to worry about this contract, and we got this good, fresh runner right now coming out of college here. That's a good running back. That's also like one of the top running backs in the NFL already, prospect-wise. Maybe they could do that. Maybe they could do that. I'm not projecting. I'm just putting myself in their shoes. Maybe they think that way if a running back falls to them. Maybe. Travis Etienne, though, I don't see him getting the full workload ever again unless something happens to Tank. I look for him getting workload. I look for him getting touches. I look for him to be okay for fantasy production, but not okay for the ADP he once was about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice. A lot of people look at Rashee Rice as a buy, but the market's not saying that. I mean, this is a tremendous price at wide receiver 17. The first 3 games of the season, 16.2 points per game, top end weeks, all of them over 15 fantasy points, one at 29.1, and he's with the Chiefs, and he's getting better, and we're coming back from a knee injury. But if you follow the channel, that's why you need to click that subscribe button, because we cover the workout clips. These guys come back from injury. We cover those so you can see these players working out. We covered Rice. He's looking good. He's on track. We're going to see more in OTAs. We're going to see more in these workouts and training camp. We're covering those clips so you can get a look for yourself. I dig those up and review them. Click that button right now. Stop missing out. You would know Rashee Rice is looking good right now and is on track if you've been paying attention with me. Rashee Rice, wide receiver 17. Don't fret it. Don't fret it. If you want to pay a little bit more, go ahead. Go ahead in ADP. He's going to be back, and he was rocking it good in training camp. He was rocking it good in training camp going into the season. In OTAs last year, and in minicamp last year, when they were talking about the whole team, he was one of the most improved players, one of the top players on the roster, one of the top guys on the roster, all players involved, all of them, offensive line, defensive line. It was Rice here. This is something you want to buy into. This is why you need to click that subscribe button. I hate to say it again, but when it comes to those little fine details that I find through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, that's where you're going to find it. You're not going to find it anywhere else because nobody else is doing it. And the target share, 25.7%. ADOT's low again like it was the year prior, but we're racking more targets. We're getting more opportunity. It's going to happen again. We might have a ramp-up time due to the injury, but it happened early in the season, and we got a rapport with Patrick Mahomes. Again, we looked good in training camp. We built that up. We built that up. Rice fits well in this offense, and he's a hard worker. He's a hard worker. You see it in the workouts. You see it in training camp. He's going to be back. He's going to be back. And adjacent players, Romo, Doomsday, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, all this tells me he's expensive. He's an expensive player. He should be expensive. We're in a premier offense. He's getting a lot of targets. He is going to be the guy after everything's said and done in this offense. And he's the guy you're probably going to want to latch on to. Cortland Sutton here. If I am in it to win it right now. This is a wide receiver on the cheap that if he stays healthy can get you over the hump. Look how steady it was last year. 14.3 points per game. His wide receiver 3 weeks weren't that bad. Over 10 points, most of them. Over 12 points on most of them. And we're able to almost get you a 30 spot. We're over 20 in 3 games. We can get you multiple wide receiver 1 weeks. And we get the deep ball. We get a nice ADOT. We're getting targeted. 8 targets a game. A lot of games in double digits. Fueling production. That's not going to change. Even if this team drafts another wide receiver, there's not a wide receiver profile like him in this draft in the first round that's really going to take over his job. His job's safe. The only thing that can hurt him is getting hurt. That's the only thing that could really hurt him. Father Time is looking over his shoulder, but again, we already know that that is priced in. If he was younger, he'd be top 10-ish wide receiver, top 15-ish wide receiver, top 20-ish. He'd be more expensive. That's what I'm trying to say. But target share here, 25.1%, 8 out of 13.2. That's what you want from your wide receivers. You want deep balls downfield. You want targets. You want a large target share, almost 8 targets per game. And you're getting those games, though, where you're racking up double-digit targets. A 94.8% route participation rate. Running over 30 routes per game. Just a lot of opportunity. Second among wide receiver in air yards, 5th in air yards share. What more do you want? Target separation ranks 96th among wide receiver, but he's deployed deep downfield, safety over top. So those type of wide receivers have different target separation. That being said, the workload's there, the work rate's there. Can you get multiple years? Probably not, because you look at the contract. The end is coming, especially with the age. He might lock in some short contracts with the Broncos. But deep ball city, target share city. If I'm rebuilding, what the hell are you doing if you're rebuilding, if you're here? What the hell if you're looking at Cortland Sutton and you're rebuilding? What are you doing? But if you're competing, this is the perfect guy for you, Ramondre Stevenson. I don't really like him that much, guys. But if you want a cheap running back, we got to talk about this. RB36, 12 points per game. There was some drama at running back last year. He was in and out a few spots there during the middle of the season. But still, we were getting workload opportunities here in the offense. We had some production. We were very cheap. And looking at what we got here, an opportunity share, 21st among running backs here. Target share, 25th. Targets, 29th with 41 targets on the season. There was one season where he's top 3 among running backs and targets. He can be used in the pass game. Average 3.9 yards per carry. Antonio Gibson's there still. And I think this team's going to draft a running back. That's the thing about this. And I can tell from the chart that the market thinks so too, because it's like this. It's kind of compressed, but look under me. Just look right there. Just look. Take a quick look. It's like this. The market does not know what to do with him because he's in line right now. Look at the competition on this depth chart to get a good amount of workload, get amount of targets and opportunity. And he's done it before. Last year wasn't too great. It was off and on. But we know the draft is here. We look at the picks for the Patriots. We look at what they want to do here with Drake May. And they want to add talent to him. And if they go offensive line in the first round, they want to bring back something sexy. It's not a sexy wide receiver class. So if that happens, running back's probably it. His days as the guy is probably numbered here. But can you capitalize on that, catch him cheaper after the draft? Probably. You might want to do that. You might get a 1-year rental out of him. And we got an out after 2026 on his contract. That's what Spot Track says. So maybe you want to explore that. Maybe you want to capitalize on that. Again, you want to try and get him cheaper than RB36 if that happens. You want to look at that. Or maybe you're betting on that they don't pick up a running back. And you got a 1-year rental out of Ramondre Stevenson. Maybe 2. But again, I'm not counting on him to be the guy for long term. But as a running back, he's okay getting the job done. He's okay. He can be productive. It's kind of like a Rochambeau effect, and we're getting down there with those RB2 backs. We got Tony Pollard down there for some reason. They got 2 running backs there. They could bring in another guy, but they're really set up with those first 2 picks of their draft to not go running back, especially the first one. So maybe Tony Pollard's a little bit more safer, but Quentin Johnston, there's a rhyme and reason for everything in life except for Quentin Johnston. But for fantasy football, there is an avenue where I can talk you into liking him, but you probably shouldn't listen. 11.6 points per game, 3 wide receiver 1 weeks. The down weeks weren't that bad. They were either piss poor, I guess, or okay, hitting double digits, getting you by. Wide receiver 61 in value, 11.6 points per game. But the Chargers might bring in a wide receiver. That might happen. And if they do, it's going to be later in the draft. And you're already discounting this wide receiver class as it is. There's a lot of options in the first round where they're picking at. They could go multiple different directions. This is why you like him, though. A 21.7% target share, a 10.8 average depth of target. So he's getting deep balls downfield. So what you saw there on the scoring chart prior of just up and down volatility, a couple wide receiver 1 weeks, a couple performances, and some down weeks, that reflects the ADOT, that reflects the target share. Ladd McConkey's going to be the dude in the offense. Quentin Johnston is going to get a little bit of workload. He's going to get some opportunities. It's going to be deep downfield. If the defense breaks, he's going to break loose for that score, for that deep target. He's going to be okay in fantasy that week, and maybe even a wide receiver 1. A lot of other times, you got the Broncos twice a year. You got the Chiefs twice a year. You got the Raiders. They're looking to add a DB in this class. You got them twice a year, and that's going to change over time with what they're doing. And you got a wide receiver here that's very volatile in the workload metrics as well. So you're going to see a wide receiver that's going to give you a couple wide receiver 1 weeks every year, as long as he's running a lot of routes, seeing about a 70 to 80% route participation rate. But you're also going to have a wide receiver here that you can't count on. At that price tag at wide receiver 61, if you're playing DFS with your lineups, it's fine. If you're trying to use him as an asset, that's never going to happen. He's never going to be a premier asset, so you don't play stocks with him. Use him more as a DFS asset in your lineups where you just throw him in there, close your eyes. You just pray to the gods he hits in that matchup. Maybe it's a defense that breaks a lot. Maybe it's a matchup with an over-under of over 50 points and you're just going to roll with it. But again, he is there for somebody in fantasy, maybe not for you. Contract-wise, we're still in the rookie deal. We only got a couple more years left with the Chargers. It's running by quick. Father Time's not very fun at all. But when I look at Quentin Johnston, him or Rashad Bateman? Rashad Bateman's a better talent with similar workload numbers. A.D. Mitchell is a better talent. He's not getting as much opportunity, but for the long term, you're looking at other players here. Romeo Doubs, Cole Kmet, who might get usurped by Tyler Warren in the draft, Cedric Tillman. So you got a lot of volatile wide receivers in this range. Adam Thielen. So if you want to go cheap, you want to pay down, and you want a steady Eddie, even though we're almost 35 years old, maybe you do this. So you're looking at Quentin Johnston, and you're like, why not just do Adam Thielen? He has almost as many wide receiver 1 weeks as Quentin Johnston. 1 less, almost as many wide receiver 2 weeks. But steady when he's on the field, when he's healthy. Look, when he came back, week 12 and afterwards, we're hitting double digits almost every week. Not many flatline games of below 5 points there. 6.2 targets per game. But weeks 13 to 18, 10, 11, 7, 6, 6, 6. That's workload, that's production. Target share, ADOT. It's hard to add that in considering we did not play that many games due to the injury. ADOT's going to be a little bit lower. Target share is going to be up. Production's going to be volatile. We're going to get some touchdowns. We're going to get some workload and opportunity. But we led the team in receiving yards, 615. We do not have a 1,000-yard receiver in this offense. 21% target share. Deontay Johnson had a 26% target share before he was axed. But now we're looking at Adam Thielen. He's going to be the steady Eddie. He's going to be the steady veteran in this offense. A guy to look to. He's so cheap that if I'm contending and I want a guy like this as a backup, it'd probably be a guy I'm looking at. If I'm not looking for asset but production, that's what I'd be looking at because that'd be very cheap around the wide receiver 100 range. And looking at the adjacent players here, it's cheap. Even if they bring in another wide receiver, Adam Thielen cemented on this team, and he's a dog. He's going to be there for another year at least. The contract's looking okay for another year. He's 35 years old. What do you expect? You're not expecting him to have another 5 years to his career. You're not expecting that. You're not expecting him to be a wide receiver 10. You're expecting him to get you by. And if you're looking for wide receivers to get you by, you might as well Look at how they're forecasted on their team, how they're getting targets and workload, and look at how cheap they are. He's cheap. He's cheap. He's cheap. So if you need it, go get it. There we go. Those are the Dynasty trades for our Wednesday. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.